Alrighty, folks, so jumping into lesson 6 here. So this whole lesson's about percentages and working with percentages. So things you've seen before, we're just going to make sure that we're all on the same page and we all know how to handle these different types of problems with percents. So if you're given back a quiz and you got 12 out of 15, wondering if you would know how to turn that into a percentage. So if you do 12 divided by 15, what that's going to do, it's going to turn that fraction into a decimal, and it's going to tell you the decimal 0.8, and then you can take that decimal and times it by 100, and you'll get 80%. So top divided by bottom, and then times by 100. And then the key thing I want you to pay attention to is, what does that 15 represent? Well, if you got 12 out of 15, 15 is the total amount of marks on the test. So 15 is the total amount of marks. That's the key thing to pay attention. It's easy to think of with a test, but when we're in a different context, when you got to deal with a total when you're doing percentages. So the OSPCA has 13 cats and 12 dogs at the moment. What percentage of the animals are cats? So this is why I point out that the 15 was the total. In order to get a percentage, you need to know that we're talking about a total of 25 animals. I'll see often people will do 12 divided by 13 here, and they'll get something close to 100%, when in reality it should be close to 50% here. They're almost equal. So 13 cats, it wanted the percentage of cats, so you do 13 out of 25. If you wanted the percentage of dogs, you do 12 out of 25. And all I want you to do here is 13 divided by 25 and then times 100. And you'll get just over 50%, 52%. Okay, so I'll let you handle the next one. So pause the video, see if you can answer the next question here. A zoo has 900 animals. 550 of them are mammals. What percentage of the animals are not mammals? So pause for a quick second, see if you can work that out, and then unpause, and I'll do my answer. So there's two ways to go about this. You can either subtract and get that there are 350 animals that are not mammals, and then do 350 out of 900. And you get, looks like 39% if you round that off. So 350 divided by 900 times 100. If you round that off, you should get 39%. The other way to go about that problem is just take the number that you're given, 550 out of 900, change that to a percentage, you get 61. And since you know that they're either mammals or not mammals, and the total of a percentage is 100, so the other way, I guess I should write it down. If you do that and you get 61% are mammals, then you would just do 100, take away 61, and get 39% not mammals. And so that's how we do calculations where you know a part and a total and you get the percentage. In this last one, you know the total. There's a total of 900 animals in the zoo. You know the percentage, and we're going to get the part. So 30% of the animals are herbivores. Same zoo, so we got 900 total animals. So this is really saying, what's 30% of 900? And so the way to go about that, you do 30 divided by 100 and then times by 900. So 30 divided by 100 is 0.30. That's the percentage version, or sorry, that's the decimal version of that percent. And then you take that decimal version, you times by the total, and you get 270 herbivores. Okay, so this next section of the note is just sort of summarizing the types of calculations we did here. So if you're turning a fraction into a percentage, you do top divided by bottom times 100. So that would be 28 out of 30 times 100 for that. When you know the value of the different parts, well, the key thing is that this bottom needs to be the total. So if you know that there's, like we had the 12 cats and 13 dogs, so you need to get the total first, and then really what you're doing is the part that you're interested in divided by the total, and then times by 100. How do you calculate the number of things? If you know the percent and the total, this is really saying how do you find the percent of the number? Well, you take your percentage, you divide by 100, that gives you the decimal version of that percent, and then you times that answer by the total, and that will give you that part. So that's like we did the 30% in that last question there. And then often what percentages get used for are for sale prices. So I'm just going to go over some sale price. So if I talk about the discount, that's an amount of money taken off an original price. The sale price is the price of the item when it's on sale. And stores often, you'll talk about the markup. So the amount that they increase the price so that they make a profit. So if they buy things for $50 and sell them for $80, they're marking them up by $30. So a brand new iPhone costs $1,200. How much tax will you pay in Ontario? Well, we have to know that in Ontario, we tend to pay the HST, the harmonized sales tax, and it's 13%. So that's a number that you got to be familiar with. So you would take 13, divide by 100, or 0.13, if you want to remember it that way, either way, and then times that by the 1200. So 0.13 times the 1200, and that tells you it's $156. All we're finding there is the tax, and so the total then would be the price of the iPhone. It's a super old price of an iPhone, and we're going to add on the 156, and we'll get that grand total of 1356. There we go. So that's one way to do it. Again, often people can turn it to a decimal in their head, so 13% is 0.13, so you could do that and also get the 156. Doesn't matter how you do it. The other thing, lots of people know this shortcut. If you do 1.13 times 1200, that will tell you the 1356 all in one go. So what that's doing is 0.13, that's 13%. If you do 1.113, that's including the $1,200 because you've got, 1,200 times 1 is 1,200, and then 1,200 times 0.13 is 156. It's kind of combining those all together, and it gives you the tax in total all in one step. So if you want to use that shortcut, you absolutely can. So there we go. Okay, so one sale price question, one markup question, and then I'll send you off to work on the practice. If you want to pause now and attempt to get these questions before I do them, that's absolutely fine. That would be a good idea. So pause now, attempt those questions, and then see if you got the right answer. Okay, so the jeans cost $65. They have a discount of 20% off. So the first thing we have to do is calculate the discount, and that's the 20%. So we do 20 divided by 100 to get the 0.20, multiply by 64.99, and we get basically $13, $12.99.8. So the 8 after the second 9 there makes you round up to 13. So that's not the price of the pants, that's the discount. So often people do that calculation, think they've done it wrong because the pants were supposed to be $65. There's no way that they're getting them for $13 now. It's because we're not done yet. So once you have the discount, now you do the sale price. They were going to be $64.99. We're saving $13. So take away the 13 from that and get $51.99. And so that is when you bring the jeans up to the till and they scan them, it's going to come up as $51.99. And after that, it's going to do tax. Tax is always calculated last because you pay tax on what the actual price you're paying is, not what the store said the jeans were worth. So you're actually paying $51.99. So now that's when we're going to do the tax. So again, we can do 13 divided by 100 or 0.13 and get $51.99 times 0.13. And that's $6.76 if I round that off. And then again, the total then would be the $51.99 plus the $6.76. And that's going to be, what's that, $57.75. Did I get that right? Oh, $58.75. My bad. Yeah, because that's basically $52. Okay, never mind. Okay, $58.75 is the grand total that you would pay for those jeans. Okay, and then the last example is just a markup question. It's the exact same steps, but instead of subtracting the amount that you get from the percent, you just add it on to the price. So 85% of the headphones. So Best Buy buys the headphones for 60. They mark them up 85%. So I'm going to do 85 divided by 100 to get 0.85 and take that answer, multiply it by 60. Is a grand total of $51 that they're marking up the price. So they buy them for 60, they mark them up an additional 51. So you add those up and they would put a price tag on those headphones of $111. And then they charge you tax after that. This question doesn't mention tax, so you don't have to calculate it. It's how much the store is selling them for. They would have a price tag of $111 on it. So that's every type of percentage question you might run into in this class. So what I'll have you do is send me your answer to number 1 here, the football game one. Send me that one when you get it done. And then there's so the first 4 questions are just general percent questions. And then the second set is some of the sale, markup, and discount. Again, you don't have to do absolutely every single one, but make sure that you get an idea for it. So maybe send me number 2 from that set. And I want you to include the 13% tax in all of these. And I do have answers for you to check to make sure that you're doing them right, but I do want to see your steps too, just make sure you're doing the right steps. So send me number 1 from the first set of practice and number 2 from the second set of practice when you get this one done.